Hello everyone, my name is Titus.
I'm Josiah.
And this is the second video. And we're going to talk about Titans, as always. Training camp is in about 9 days, I believe. And we're anxious, but we prepared 2 questions each for each other. And we're going to ask it, and we'll see what each other's opinion is on it.
And you probably can say your answer in the comments if you want to.
Yes, please do. We'd like to hear your opinions. That's the funnest part about it, is to hear from the other Titans fans. So anyway, I think I'll start off with a question for Josiah, and that is, what do you think in this offseason is the most improved position for the Tennessee Titans?
Well, one thing is I feel like we improved a lot of different ways in a lot of different positions, but I'm going to say off the line, of course, even though last year, we did have a lot of backups and that's why we're so bad, I still think if you put our starters up against our starters from last year, I say this year was really improved.
I agree, because we have new starters out there, which would be Andy Levitri and Chance Warmack on the guards, which is definitely a weakness of last year. And then also we could have Schwenke play center. We don't know if Lasco's got that position right now.
Right.
But it could be a whole new start right down the middle of this team, offensive line. Anything else you want to say about that?
That's pretty much it.
All right, next question.
All right, my question for you is, what receiver will most likely be cut of the receivers that we have right now?
Alright, so for this, there's a lot of good receivers for the Titans right now, and there's going to be a good receiver cut. I have on here 3 people that I know is a lock that you can just, you don't even have to doubt that they'll be on the team or not. It's going to be Wright, Britt, and Hunter. Okay, Wright, he's a first-round draft pick last year. He had a good year, so why cut him? He's got a lot of, people expecting big things from this year and, from the years on. And Britt is on a contract year. People want to see if he's the, player that they hoped he was when they drafted him. And so this is make or break year. They're not going to cut him here. They're going to give him this year to see what he can do. And Hunter, he's just the first-round draft pick this year. They got a lot of expectations for him, and possibly the Britt replacement or whatever, replacement of anyone that's gone here in the few years. So these 3 are for sure locks in. Now, what I see next is, I think Nate Washington will be our next receiver that will stay. I don't see him getting cut. He's got the veteranship that we need, and we have other good veterans, but he's the one who's been here the longest, so he knows the team well, and he's a solid receiver. Next, I see Damian Williams. He's pretty young, but he's got a few years under his belt. I think 4 years he's been playing. I say he'll probably keep his position. Then Walter, I see him maybe making it. He could be cut. But the thing is, he can help out in special teams. So I think if they're going to keep a lot of receivers, he'll be one that makes it in. But then Mariani and Michael Preston, I can see them both getting cut. If Mariani does not look 100% with the leg and he's not win the returning job, I'm seeing him gone. Even though he did improve, they said, during the last season before he got injured with the receiving. We have so many good receivers this year. I'm seeing him and Michael Preston gone. Michael Preston, he's a little inexperienced and a little unpolished, but he's got great height for the position and good reach, and he's like Justin Hunter, just not the experience and all that and wasn't drafted, so he's probably going to get cut, maybe back to the practice squad. He was from there last year, so that's what I say.
All right.
And the next question is, do you see CJ2K having a better year this year?
CJ2K, I could see him, his stats being about the same, because obviously he's splitting a little more carries. I don't think it's going to be 50%, but Chris Johnson still gets some carries taken away from him. So I think his stats going to be worse. I think his touchdowns...
But what about his average?
That same yards. That's what I said. I could see him doing better. I actually think he's going to do better than he did last year. I really do. With an improved offensive line, and I think that he's going to be doing better. One thing, he's a happy camper because he's always bragging on the Titans, always run for his team and stuff. That makes him happy. He's excited that there's all these new changes and stuff and everything. So I think he's gonna be a better player. The thing is, I think he can still get about the same amount, if not more touchdowns, because he hardly got any touchdowns last year.
Yeah, I think he could get more. Of course, Sean Green's gonna be taking those 1 yard line, push throughs. We'll see what he ends up with, but he's a happy camper because he thinks it's going to be running first team, if it is or not. They told him that to make him happy, and he might not get the carries that he thinks he will just because of the great receivers we have. If Jake Lucker plays well, we'll see a lot of passing, I suspect, since Dowell Logans is the quarterback coach. But Chris Johnson, I think he'll do really good with what he's got.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, let's see. Your last question.
My last question is, of the bunch of cornerbacks, there's nothing for certain which cornerbacks going to be well, but the cornerbacks that we have, who's going to be the top 2 cornerbacks for the Titans at the end of the training camp?
Well, for sure, Jason McCourty will win number 1. He's a really good cornerback, for sure, and he's got that locked. There's no doubt about that. Now, number 2, that's where a lot of question comes in. Werner's had it for the last couple of years since Cortland Finnegan left. He's had second string, and just Jason McCourty on first. But this year, they changed their style a little bit. They're going to be more, man coverage, push, things like that. This might not be the style for Werner. And so I think they have a position battle between Tommy Campbell, Bleedy Ray Wilson, Cody Sensabaugh, and Werner. I'm thinking the job's going to go to Tommy Campbell. They gave him last year a chance at it. He did okay, but then they just not sure they trusted him with all the responsibility quite yet. And so they gave him another year, but at the end of the year they started playing him at the second string a little more, and he allowed very few catches. He didn't get an interception, but he created the interception, tipping it to Zach Brown. He played almost a shutdown corner on the few limited plays he got outside. So I see him getting it this year. He's a perfect body size and plays the position that they want him to for the style, and I think it's going to go to him. And then I see if it's not him, it's going to be Bleedy Ray Wilson. I think he has a good chance at it. Cody Sensabaugh, they said he's doing really well, but what he's doing really well at is in the dime. So I suspect that they'll put him in dime. He might have a position battle with Werner at who gets dime and whatever in the third spot. We'll see. There's a lot of good cornerbacks. Now, can anyone become a superstar at cornerback this year? That's the thing between good and great.
Yeah.
I see a lot of good cornerbacks, but I don't know if I see a lot of great cornerbacks. We'll see who can make or break it this year. But I'm gonna go lock in Tommy Campbell. So that is our questions and answers. Let us know what you think about those in the comments below. We'll have more videos coming out soon. Training camp, like I said, will be starting in 9 days. We're pretty stoked. And after that, quickly will be preseason. That'll be exciting to watch, all these position battles. And then off to the regular season, and that'll be pretty intense stuff. So, like, favorite, subscribe, and go Titans.